I'm Charlie Rose with Gail King and Benita Nair. Nora O'Donnell is in Washington. President Obama is telling Congress and the country that it is time to turn the page from the financial crisis and the recession and unemployment that followed. He used last night's State of the Union address to push Republicans to support the middle class instead of the rich. The president said his economic policy had made the State of the Union strong.
He also called for more cooperation from the Republican-led Congress.
The better politics is one where we debate without demonizing each other, where we talk issues and values and principles and facts rather than gotcha moments or trivial gaffes or fake controversies that have nothing to do with people's daily lives. If we're going to have arguments, let's have arguments, but let's make them debates worthy of this body and worthy of this country. I have no more campaigns to run. My only agenda, I know because I won both of them.
That is a line of the day for a lot of people. It's getting a lot of pickup. The president also told Republicans he would veto any bill reversing his policies on Obamacare, immigration, and financial regulation.
Yeah, even Republicans say that was a good line. And with us here in Washington is House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy of California. Congressman, good morning. You thought that was a good line.
It was well played.
It was well played. You know, I noticed last night when, of course, they announced that the president is entering the chamber. You were right there behind the president of the United States. Since you were so close before, did you guys find some areas of cooperation?
Well, we go and greet prior, and being majority leader, that's the position why I'm there. But we had a civil rights leader, Amelia Boyd. She was up from Selma, Congresswoman Terry Sewell. We had dinner and able to meet her, John Lewis. So I told the president about it. He was able to go greet her and say hello to her beforehand. And that's really what we talked about. And I went and did the march with John Lewis and Selma a couple years back. And that was our conversation mainly.
Let's talk about what the president said last night. He said, we've seen the fastest economic growth in over a decade. Our deficit has been cut in half by 2/3. The stock market has doubled. Healthcare inflation is at its lowest rate in 50 years. Does the president deserve any credit for that?
Look, I think the president's worked hard. There's some challenges that we could be much stronger. And you can always pick different facts, but if you look at the participation rate, that really scares me. It's 62.7%. This is the lowest it's been since Jimmy Carter, 78. That means people have given up looking, so it lowers the unemployment. But what's fearful, if you give it up looking, you're giving up on your hopes and dreams. So there's so many more areas we can look at. Our debt, our deficit's at $18 trillion. That's larger than our whole economy. So we've got a lot of work to do, and I'm excited about being able to work together. I can work with anyone that's willing to.
You know, it's interesting, if you look at the polls for many years, the American people said they liked divided government. This is now some of the first time in polling that the American people said, no, we don't want divided government anymore. We actually want compromise. It's still not clear to me on what level the Republicans, and you're in the leadership in Congress, are going to get any compromise and come together on anything with the President of the United States.
Look, I believe in divided government. Historically, we've done big things. Reagan had Tip O'Neill and reformed the tax code. Clinton had Newt Gingrich and Bob Dole that reformed welfare and balanced the budget. So historically, we're at the right place to be able to conquer a lot of our big challenges. And I think the opportunity is we should get down. If someone's willing to work, we work with them. And we're going to have different philosophical approaches, but our government's divided that no one gets 100% of what they want. The idea, though, I have, if the president wants to work with us, we've only been here 2.5 weeks and he's put 7 veto threats. I think that's probably not the best start. Let us work the legislation before you decide something's going to be vetoed.
Charlie?
Congressman, the question is about the vetoes. If, in fact, the president does veto the Keystone Pipeline, what will the Republicans do?
I think we'll try to override it or send it back to him. Look, Bill Clinton vetoed welfare reform twice. He signed it the third time. That's the way our government is devised. We've studied Keystone for 5 years. Every challenge the president's had about this and the court challenge, Nebraska's taken that away. So I think this is an easy place that we could find common ground, put people to work, and actually make us more energy independent for the entire North America.
A lot of people are saying that what happened last night and what the president laid out is setting the debate not only for the next 2 years, but for the presidential campaign of 2016. If that is the question, what do you think the debate is?
I think the debate is what the future looks like. I mean, we still have great challenges in foreign policy. I mean, Our friends don't trust us and our enemies don't fear us. I see economically, we've talked about the middle class, but their income has dropped since the president's been in office. So it's really what's the future, not just for you, but for your children. And those people will not give up hope looking for a job, but have an opportunity for a job. There's so much fear that people coming out of college can't get a job and have such large debt. Where is the growth and opportunity that we have? I still believe America is the best country in the world and has the best opportunity.
A lot of people
Washington.
feel that, Congressman, that America is the best place in the world. But let me ask you this. When you were listening last night to the proposals, did you hear anything at all that you said, you know what, that is a great idea?
You know what? I think trade, perfect opportunity. I think when he talks about veterans, we've already passed hire more vets. Unfortunately, last Congress, it got stuck in the Senate. That's already gone through the House. When we look at authorization, we look at cybersecurity, there's a lot of places that we can start with common ground now. And I think if that becomes law, it'll show that, one, we're competent, second, that the country can move forward, and we can start tackling. Tax reform.
None of those address the income inequality.
Yeah, I think tax reform would be the best opportunity, right? Everybody's for simplifying the tax code. The president wants to raise more taxes. We do not agree with that. But simplification, closing the loopholes, I think that's a common ground place that we can find and work towards.
Well, we will be watching and hope you will join us again.
Well, thanks for having me.
Leader McCarthy, thank you so much.